GM everyone, welcome back to Beyond Research show, and today we're continuing with the DLMMing with Gideon. So as you can remember, last time we did an introduction of DLMMs and CLMMs. It was a while back, and now we promise to be as consistent as possible. So just probably a quick uh, overview of what DLMM, CLMMs, and Meteora is. So first of all, I think I need to just talk about what Meteora is. So it's just a leading. It's one of the leading DeFi protocols built on the Solana blockchain, mostly focused on creating secure and sustainable liquidity, especially for the people trading the Solana blockchain. So, what makes Meteora a bit different from all these other uh, liquidity provision protocols is what they did with the DLMM, which is a new form. It's not entirely new, but it's a very I call it, what is this term? Innovative, yes, innovative way of playing around with liquidity. So Meteora integrated, uh, it integrates with other platforms like Jup. If you look at our screen, there's the Jupiter logo there, and many other forms of protocols in the Solana ecosystem. Now, back to what DLMM is. Its long form is just Dynamic Liquidity Market Maker. This is actually the flagship product for Meteora. What I said by them being very innovative. So what happens? It's sort of just like a next gen uh, CLMM, concentrated liquidity automated market makers on Solana. Now, so what DLMM, how it works? It's there are things called bean-based systems where now it allows for zero slippage within the active beans. So how it works, it's using the bean structure. So the prices are divided into beans. So once they're divided into beans, uh, now liquidity provision deposit into targeted beans for high high capacity efficiency. Then there's this aspect of dynamic fees where you can adjust the fees depending on higher the like volatility when the trading is high on your specific probably pairs that you've chosen. You can adjust stuff or rather the fees on your pairs. This one is just to capture more value and boost liquidity LP earnings. So there's you can also change your liquidity strategies by creating custom shapes like spot, bid ask, and even uh, single-sided liquidity is possible on Meteora and the innovation of DLMMs. So today we don't really want to dwell on textbook definitions. So we'll just quickly dive into how to do this so that we can learn how to make extra income using DLMMs. So Gideon will just quickly take over. I think, yeah, basic things is just you have to have some funds in your wallet, and then you connect your wallet to Meteora. So Also, you have to be super careful on the Meteora website because uh, DeFi is super risky. That's why we encourage you to do your own research. And I always say none of this is financial advice. So the best way I usually do is always follow the official X handles. So for instance, for Meteora, if you're not sure of the website, follow the official X handle. They always put the website there, or also inside the Solana wallets. If you go to the wallet, if you go to the dApps sections, you will see the specific uh, protocols inside the wallets. You can access it there. So yeah, so Gideon, yeah, he's sharing the Meteora official channel. It is Meteora AG. Make sure you follow that. So if you go to their TL, can you just click their TL? If you go to their TL, you can see the website is linked there, meteora.ag. That's how, for me, I usually like counter check to ensure that I'm in the right website. So yeah, so Gideon, let's do an example of DLMMing for today's sesh. Then we will plan for the next session.
Okay, guys. Jim, and welcome back. I'm so happy being back in the space, doing what you do the best and doing what you love. Now, to begin with, nothing that is going to be said here in this call or in this session is financial advice. We need to emphasize on that. And that being said, let's jump in. So, on your screens right now is the Meteora's official X account. If you're not really sure of what is the X account, that is the X account. And just to shield myself in the same, this is my personal account. So, I am at GD and photo on X2. Now, let's jump straight into demystifying what my brother has shared to you, and that is a good, clear, concise intro on what and how to use Meteora. So, the official Meteora website will look like this. So, this is the official Meteora website. It has some few or some functionalities that you might be interested in. So let's just cover them with a quick preview. You can see some of the things that you can do on Meteora. So this is the home page of Meteora. This is the polls page on Meteora. It comprises of different polls and what is in these polls. So be it TVL, 24-hour volume, and fee divided by the TVL. We also have different type of polls. We have DLMM, we have DAM-V2, which is quite unique. We have DAM-V1, we have stake to earn pools, we have pools with farm, we have LST pools, and we have multi-token pools. Now, your main focus while you begin with Meteora will be on DLM, and as you can see on DLM, we have some few stars here showing that the interests and also what is going on. Same is the case with the DAM-V2. Now, our main focus will be on the DLM. So DLM will be our main focus. This is where we will reside into. The next page is the portfolio page. So if you have open positions, which I don't have currently with this wallet, your positions will be displayed here with their P&L and how they are behaving or how they are going along with the market conditions. We also have the LP starter guide. So if you are new and you are new to all of this DLMing thing, you might want to go to the LP liquidity provision starter guide, which will take you to this page, which is an more or less external page whereby you'll have different contents that you will be reading and trying to explore and the Meteora bootcamp. When we go back to this page, there is the docs page, and then there's a mode drop down that has vaults, farms, blog, launch guide, and the official Meteora socials and LP Army socials. Now, some of these things might seem so exhaustive to you, You will and we will explore them in these calls and these sessions. But for today's call, we are just going to show you how seamless it is to provide liquidity on Meteora and how easy it can be to
Yeah,
LLM pools.
we lost you in a
Just
while, so he just wants to show us how to DLMM in short. Yeah, yeah, that's
yeah,
what
yeah.
he was
So
explaining. Yeah,
in this case, we're just going to focus on the LLM pools. So we might want to view all the pools available. And for our case study today, we are going to focus on the Sol USDC pool. So in each pool pair, you will see the number of pools that have been created under each pool pair. So for Sol USDC, we have 102 pools. You can see the combined TVL in these pools. You can see the 24-hour volume in these pools, which can be changed according to the time that you want. So in my case, it's 24 hours, which I like it to be 24 hours. You can also see the TVL, the fee over TVL ratings in the last 24 hours, but you can also change them. So after connecting your wallet, you might want to see the top pools. So you have all the pools in each pool pair, and it gives you the top pools in each pool pair. So in our case study today, we will go with the first pool, which is the 10 bean step pool with a 0.1% fee. So some of these terms are going to be bombastic or lied to you, but we promise we will take you through and explain them to you. So in this session, it's just going to be straightforward and as simple as possible. Now, when you open a pool page, what you're faced with, what you'll be facing, or what you'll find is some of these metrics being shown here. So in our case today, we have a TVL of $11 million in this particular pool, and this TVL is shown in terms of liquidity allocations in both pairs. So for Solana, we have that $9,788 worth of Sol, and we have $4 million worth of USDC in this particular pool.
I
We
think
are
I
also
think that's 39K Sol, not
yeah, yeah, yeah,
dollars.
yeah, yeah. Sorry about that. Not dollars. Yeah. So this 39 K sol. In essence, each pool is supposed to hold an equal amount of pool pairs. So if you have a Sol USDC pool, it's supposed to hold an equal amount of Sol and USDC. So this is supposed to be 39,000 or 39K Sol, and we have 4 million USDC. Okay. And other than that, we also have the liquidity distribution chart, which is quite useful to know how liquidity in this pool is distributed between the price ranges. And in this case, we have a price range between 180, 181 to 200 and 200.40. So between this range, we are shown how liquidity is distributed, and it can kind of give you an idea of how your liquidity is also going to be distributed, or how you will want to structure your liquidity. Now, after that, your next goal will be to provide liquidity or open a position in this pool. So, how do you go about it? So, what you do is you come to the add liquidity under your positions, okay? Or you can just click add liquidity in that case. So if you click this icon here or click this one here, it's going to take you to the same page. So you click on add position to provide liquidity. Now, after that, you have two choices here. As you can see on my screen right now, I have turned off the autofill function. Okay? You can turn it on. So what happens if you turn it on? If you turn the autofill function, and let's say you want to specify the amount or the quantity of USDC you want to open a position with in this pool, it will fill in an equal amount of SOL. value. So if in this case I have around 5 USDC on my wallet, if I put or I click in 5 USDC, you'll see that it has automatically added an equal amount of value of the other side. But if I if I switch off the autofill function here, and let's get rid of the 5 USDC, and let's get rid of the 0.02 sol, and I input 5 USDC in this case, you have noticed that it has not automatically calibrated and filled in the sol value. So the good thing or the magic with Meteora is, one, you are given the flexibility of providing liquidity or opening liquidity positions in a pool with one token pair. So if I choose to only provide USDC in this case, I am given the flexibility and the ability to do so. And you are also given the flexibility and ability to provide both tokens. So if I want to provide both SOL and USDC in equal amount or in equal share, I can just turn on the autofill and it will automatically fill in an equal share of the token that I wanted to provide positions to. Now, that being said, we have three main strategies to provide liquidity with on Meteora. I will just go over them quickly, but we will have an in-depth session of covering each and every strategy that we want to use. But in our particular case for today, we will use the spot. Now we have the spot, the curve, and the bid ask. One thing to note is for each of these three strategies, they have different scenarios that they perform best within. So there are scenarios or market conditions that spot will be good and not curve or bid ask, and then we'll have positions that either curve or bid ask, or conditions that either curve or bid ask will perform optimally better than spot. Now, when you are beginning and you are looking to provide liquidity with both tokens in each token pair pools, you will be using spot most of the time. But if you are progressing into intermediate level and you want to use only one token to provide a liquidity in a pool pair, you will be looking to provide that liquidity with bid ask. Now, bid ask is what I use mostly in my day-to-day liquidity provision activities, and I use it to dollar cost in to a position and dollar cost out of a position. That is something that we're going to cover. Now, let's take a scenario whereby we want to provide two token pairs in this pool and we're using spot. As you can see, this graph here is showing you how liquidity is being distributed with each strategy. So if we choose spot, it's evenly distributed. If we go to curve, the distribution is more concentrated on the middle part of the price range. If we go to bid ask, the concentration of your liquidity or your capital in providing liquidity is more concentrated on the edges or the far ends of the price range. So we're just going to stick with spots and provide liquidity evenly along the price range. Now, you can also, or you're given the ability to choose and select your minimum price and maximum prices while opening a liquidity position on Meteora. So the default in this case is minimum negative 3% and the maximum price being a positive 3%, and the number of bin, which is not changeable directly, not unless you're shifting the minimum and maximum prices, is 69 bins. Yeah. So here is a key point of interest. While you're opening a position, you are focused on this point. Why is it so? If you provide a liquidity or you try and open a liquidity position that exceeds a certain amount of number of, then the SOL you're going to pay here, the SOL that you're going to pay here is going to exceed what is normally there. Now, by default, you're going to pay an open position fee of 0.06 or 0.054 Sol, which is refundable when the position is closed. So, apart from gas fee, apart you need an extra of 0.0574 Sol, which is going to be refunded back into your wallet on closing a position in a pool. So in this case, let's just add liquidity. You can click the add liquidity icon and confirm the transaction on your wallet, which in this case I don't think you are able to see. So you need to confirm or approve your transaction and then wait for the transaction execution to occur and then your position to be created on the blockchain. So let's wait
Yeah.
while our position is executing.
As we're waiting, so that's a security feature for the wallet.
Yeah.
So can you quickly explain what beans means?
Okay,
I didn't
so
explain perfectly when I was introducing
uh,
DLMMs.
I don't know if I should explain beans because if I explain beans, then I will go into the terminologies.
Okay,
But basic, but
no, just a
basically,
rough example.
sorry, our transaction failed. So let's try the transaction again. I'll explain the beans. So the number of beans is basically the number of price differences
Mm,
between the two uh, price points between 184.41 and 197.91.
yeah,
The small, the smallest price changes between the two price points that we are looking to provide liquidity within is what we call the number of pins. So these minute small price changes between 184 and 197 is what we call the number of bins. Now, in some cases, you might want to provide liquidity within a huge range. So you might want to provide liquidity within a very huge range of prices between the minimum price and the maximum price. And the number of bins might not necessarily be 69. Wow, it's happening to me.
I think maybe
So
you should put like uh,
let me
4
just
USDC and
yeah, let me just reduce this amount to probably even two. Let's put two just to say let's see if that will be possible. So as I was explaining, sometimes you might want to provide liquidity within a huge price range, and the number of bins might exceed 69. So whenever that happens and you are with our transaction has gone through, and this is how our position look like right now. So what I was saying is, if you provide a position within a huge price range, some bins, so the creator of a liquidity pool pays for these bin steps. Okay, so the number of bin might exceed if the price range is so large, and you will need to pay for those bin steps that have not been paid before, or those bin steps but that have not been provided liquidity before. Now, that amount of SOL that you pay for that kind of computation is not refunded back to you. Okay,
yeah,
but while you're providing liquidity within bins that have been paid for before you came to provide liquidity, that that amount of SOL that you're paying or you're renting position with is now what is refunded back to you, and that is the 0.0574 SOLs. So this is how our position look like for the position that we just opened now. Now, on the top of each position, you will see the total liquidity that you get or the total liquidity that you have provided for, and then that liquidity is distributed or shown the current balance in line with how the tokens have been subdivided. So in our case, we provided $2 worth of USDC and $1.7 worth of sol. So you can see it here. Now, for the fees that you will accumulate, or the fees that you will have gotten when your liquidity or your capital is being used, when the price is changing ranges, is so when our capital is being
Yeah,
utilized
we lost you. We
within.
lost you. We lost you. So if you can just explain again.
So okay, sorry. So I said that the current balance part is showing you how your liquidity is distributed in line with the tokens that you have provided liquidity with. So in our case, we had provided $2 worth of USDC and around $1.71 worth of Sol. Now, whenever your capital that you have distributed or provided liquidity for within these ranges is being utilized, your fees that you are accumulating are going to be shown here. Okay, and as you can see, we've already started accumulating some minute amount of fees in line with the amount of money we have provided, which is 3.69. Okay, so your fees are going to be shown here. Now, in a case whereby we claim our fees, so if we claim these fees right now, fees that we've accumulated here, which is very minute. So let's say we have decided to claim this fee. Okay, if we claim this fee, then the fees that we have claimed are going to be shown here in USD value, not token value. So the USD, the value of fees that we claimed in USD is going to be shown here. Okay, and and you have the ability to claim all the fees with this button, and you still have the ability to withdraw and close your position with this. So if I decide to click on the withdraw and close, our position is going to be closed, the $3 that we had provided liquidity for, and then our fees is going to be claimed and our position is going to be closed. Okay, now there's also the ability, if I want to close my position. So if I want to come here and close my position, I'm given the ability to select if I want to withdraw. Okay, so if I want to withdraw my position, I'm given the ability to one, withdraw my position 100%. Sorry, withdraw my position 100%. So 100% in this case, I'm removing Sol plus USDC, the token that I've provided liquidity with, and the fees that I have accumulated. Okay, I can also decide to just take one token instead of taking both of the tokens. I can decide to withdraw Sol alone. You can also decide to withdraw USDC alone and leave Sol. And I can also be able to change the percentage with which I want to withdraw the tokens with. Okay, so a lot of your time you'll be using the withdraw and close all uh, button, which will close your position, withdraw your liquidity, and claim your fees all in one transaction. And you will be out of that position as best as you can. So that is it. I was hoping to leave this position open until tomorrow, whereby we'll come back, see how the position performed, see if we'll be in or out of range, and discuss what in and out of range is. See the kind of fees that we will have accumulated, see how the market conditions that have occurred between now and tomorrow during our next sessions would have affected or have affected our positions, and we can continue from there. So I don't know if that is possible with you.
Yeah.
As in,
Is there a possibility of someone running into losses when they DLMM?
yes. So
Or
yes,
at
there
what
is
instance do
there is
you
there is
lose?
a possibility of you running into losses. So the most common, or the kind of loss that you will incur if you provide liquidity on meteora, is what we call impermanent loss.
Mm.
So I think that is also a session that we should take a full session to explain what impermanent loss is
Yeah.
and how it occurs. But considering this is just what you will call trading on a DEX, it is very, very much possible for you to lose your funds providing liquidity. So a lot, I will caution a lot of effort in learning and understanding what is happening other than just coming and providing liquidity because you've seen us do it on a call or on a session. It's something that we have done before. We've taken our time, we've learned the skill, we know what and how losses will occur, we know how to mitigate these losses. So follow through, okay, learn with us while we teach you how to go about in the space and grasp as much as possible so that you don't get yourself caught up in the dilemma of losing money. So yes, there is a possibility of losing money while providing liquidity. That's called impermanent loss. It's called impermanent loss because it's only permanent if you close a position. But then we also need to discuss what we mean by it's permanent if we close a position. So that's why I feel like we will do it and probably do it even earlier before going into deep dive of meteora and liquidity provision so that people can understand that yes, you can lose money if you go in a more uh, riskier way. Okay, so mitigate your always protect your capital, and it is a possibility that you can lose money in meteora. So yes,
Yeah, and yeah, I guess yeah, we'll discuss on possible ways of losing your funds and also how to mitigate that. I mean, that's why we are here and we're doing these sessions so that we
precisely.
can help the community to to make profits because the main
And
aim
under,
here is to make profits and not
yeah, and
losses.
understand better.
But again, it's
Yeah,
not financial advice.
yeah, it's
We are
it's
always experimenting things on the
yeah, we are
DeFi
all
space.
experimenting and trying to make the best possible decisions on the same.
So why did you choose? Can you scroll down a bit?
Okay.
Yeah, why did you choose sport? Though we will cover sport, cover bid, ask.
Yeah, but basically just
Okay,
in
so
layman's
tomorrow we
term,
might do curve
and bid ask. So
yeah.
just in layman's term, you can see with spot, your capital is evenly distributed within the price
Mm.
ranges. So if you're confident of the tokens that you are into or in a pool that you are into, you might feel obligated or you might feel confident or comfortable enough providing liquidity in an even manner. So you're not going to go like prices are going to play in this range for a very long time. So if you're confident that prices are going to stay within 184 and 197 for some time, okay, you might want to provide liquidity in an even manner. So the amount of liquidity that you have provided or the amount of capital that you have input into the pool is going to be evenly divided within that specific price range. But if we change that and go and went with something like curve, so let's come to acquisition and change the shape of curve, and let's say we have maximum here, and we want to input there. So if we change it to curve, you can notice you have, or you can see that a huge amount of your capital is concentrated within 187 and 193 here. Okay, so this is where a huge chunk of your capital is concentrated. And in this case, you might not want to go this way because if you have done or looked at the charts, you might see that the prices are not necessarily staying within this range. Okay, so
Yeah,
to just capture a more even amount of fees or a more even volume, you will want to go to spot. Okay, but then we have some market conditions that favor curve. We have other market conditions that favor bid ask because now in bid ask, a good amount of your capital is concentrated on the far edges of the price range. So that's how, as a beginner, I started with. I wanted to see how it will go, providing liquidity on an even manner. And along the way, I started playing with different strategies and shapes within the ecosystem. So yeah,
Yeah, so sport is a more reserved manner, and
precisely,
the
precisely.
dusk and curve is more volatile. The riskier, the higher rewards. Also, the riskier, the faster you lose your money. So the decision is all yours. Yeah, I
Yeah.
guess that's all for today's sesh. So in the next session, we'll check out if our position has made some profits, and then we'll cover what are we going to cover the next sesh curve.
We'll just be looking at the strategies and getting to understand more about bin steps, base fee, maximum fee, protocol fee, dynamic fee,
Yeah,
and 24 hours fee. So we'll just be trying to tackle more typical aspects of providing liquidity.
yeah, and probably what do's and don'ts so that you don't
Yeah,
get into losses.
that is always a part of our sessions.
Mm.
Yeah,
Oh, and as you can see, there's something lingering there called points. So
yeah, points.
meteora
Yeah.
is also, if you accumulate, I think over 100k points, you can be eligible for their airdrops. Though the season one is over, so
So we're waiting for season two.
yeah, season two, so you can keep on going and try your luck also.
Yeah, that should also be encouraging you to jump into liquidity provision on Meteora. Who knows? Will actually make something more tangible on season two. Yeah,
Mm.
but season one is already announced. The TG is on 23rd of October. I don't
Yeah,
know if the session will have been uploaded, but yeah, the TG is on 23rd of October. Season two is more of a done deal. So if you're jumping into Meteora for points and airdrops, then you might be focused on looking at season two, which is a good deal. Okay, it's a good deal apart from actually getting something on the side as a liquidity provider.
yeah, cool.
Yeah.
So remember to always follow us at DYOR Labs and follow Gideon at let me check. Yeah, I haven't crammed your. You can just shout your Twitter handle.
Okay, so my Twitter handle is at Gedi
Yeah,
R Photo. So it's
yeah.
Gedi at Photo on X,
Follow
and
Gideon,
that's where we can interact with.
and I'll also link the Twitter handles of DYOR Labs and of Gideon on the episode notes. Yeah, so that's all for today. See you in the next one. I have nothing much to say. I think DLMMing is super interesting and very innovative. Unlike the traditional LPing where you just LP and you leave your funds there. Here you are in more of control of your whatever you are LPing. You can decide on what to do. You can do so much that we will unravel as the uh, sessions keep on going. So that's all for tonight, and see you in the next one. Oh, remember, once again, this is in no form any form of financial advice. So you are encouraged to do your research, do your own research, of course, and take care of your capital. Right, bye.